Okay, go tell me your first and last name, please.
Ryan Osterhelt.
Okay. Spell your first name.
Ryan.
Spell your last name.
Osterheldt.
Nobody ever screws that up.
Never.
Okay. What is your title here?
I'm one of the coaches here at Hockey Ambitions.
Very nice. Tell me about your hockey. Tell me about your hockey experience from, let's say, middle high school on.
High school hockey, I grew up here in Dallas. I played for the Plano East Panthers. City championships my junior year, as well as leading scorer for the team. Played midget AA for the Dallas IceHawks, state champions. Then after I graduated high school at 17, I went off to play junior A hockey in the America West League. And then I played up in the Northern Pacific League for 3 years as well. And then I played 3 years of college hockey with Utah State University and Weber State University.
Okay. Then what brought you back here?
Just my family. This is where I grew up. I came back here to kind of be back home, and I fell into coaching here, and I love being around the kids and helping them grow.
Awesome. Okay, if I'm new to hockey and I've got a kid, Max's age, what's the first step? If I walk in the door and say, sign me up and I want to learn hockey. Tell me about that process to kind of get ramped up.
First step, definitely, we got to get you making sure that you're in the right equipment, get you on the ice, get you the feel for the ice, and learning the edges, inside edge, outside edge. And firstly, you got to make sure you're not afraid to fall on the ice, because you're going to fall quite a bit when you first get out here.
Okay. Tell me about the hockey. This question actually comes from Puckmasters. Originally, they had a Puckmasters system. Tell me about the Hockey Ambitions system.
Well, Hockey Ambitions, the great thing about us is that we're the facility for any hockey player, whether you're just starting, whether you're getting ready to go off and play juniors, or you got a semi-professional tryout. Whatever it is that you're looking to achieve here, we can do it for you. Whether you're just coming out learning to skate, we get you started off on it. Whether you're coming out here and getting ready to go out for that semi-pro tryout, we can get you the conditioning that you need on and off the ice and the specific skills that you need to work on.
All right. I've seen my son play hockey now for 5 years. And a lot of this growing up, especially in the earlier years, was, okay, do this drill, now do this drill. Now we're going to do this drill. Okay, drill, fucking drill. Tell me what's the difference about this place and the passion with the coaching and improvement of this side of playing hockey?
Well, with all of us here, we've all got the experience. We've all played at high and intense levels. And just being able to work one-on-one with those individuals, I think it might be a little bit different than you see at a team aspect. You got a group of kids out with the team. It's hard to focus on one individual skill, one individual perspective of the game. But here we can focus on whatever pertains to that individual, what specifically they need to work on, and again, just watch them grow and get to that next level.
Tell me what it feels like when you're coaching a kid and you see him go, from A to Z in the improvement.
It's one of the best feelings. It's one of the things that keeps me around in coaching, and I've got kids.
Let me just start you. If you could start I love the answer, but I need to start it with one of the greatest pleasures I get from coaching is.
Okay. One of the greatest pleasures I get from coaching is watching the kids grow, especially, if I've touched one individual by the end of the season to see him grow dramatically, then I've done my job, and it's one of the most exciting things that you can have to see. I've got a kid that I started off 2 years ago coaching at the Pee Wee B level, and he was an average player, and now he's running power play systems on a Bantam AA team. It's one of the top AA teams in the country.
That is exactly what I was looking for. If I tell me the advantages of because of all this junk that's going on with ADM and Mike Hockey, do you know that whole world right now?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, can you talk to it, and why the advantage because of ADM and Mike Hockey? What's the advantage of being here?
Being here on the smaller facility is a lot easier for a player to learn. For one thing, the players are going to be getting a lot more time with the puck. Being on a full sheet of ice, the kids are just lost out there being so little and looking around the rink's a huge place. Being on this smaller sheet of ice, they get to feel how a real game will be played at a level once they get older and they're growing, to the size of the facility that you're playing in.
Okay, and this is a little overlap on that last question, but tell me about the advantages of a smaller rink, and especially make the bridge to what happens then when I go to the regular size regulation rinks.
For me, the biggest advantage I see out of a small sheet is it forces you to keep your head up a lot more because you have less room to move. It also forces you to skate to that open ice. When you're on a full-size sheet of ice, even though you only have a few feet, it seems like a mile. When you're in the smaller sheet of ice, that few feet is a lot smaller, and you've got to work to get to every inch of ice that you have. And so once you transition onto a fuller sheet of ice, you're going to be able to take advantage of that area and use it to its fullest advantages.
Why don't you say that last part one more time? So when you get to the big rink, go ahead.
When you transition onto the full-size sheet of ice, it's a lot easier for you to gain the, sorry, start over.
I was gonna start there.
I'm trying to think of the best way to word that. Yeah.
Anytime.
So once you transition from the small sheet to the bigger sheet of ice, those couple feet that you had before now seems like a mile, even more so, because you've got all this extra room that you were working on that you were able to find and force yourself to look for on the smaller sheet. It just sort of comes to you on the larger sheet.
Beautiful. Tell me about your team training, I guess classes, team training.
As far as team training, I think that's one of the most important things you can have when you're working with a team. It's not an individual sport. I mean, you have to focus on everything, and you have to be able to work. Everybody has to be able to work through every system that you have on a team. You're only as strong as your weakest link, and so if everybody is not on the same page, then your team it's not going to perform the way you need it to perform.
Okay. Now you would come in as a coach for a team training. What opportunities does that give their normal head coach? Where we're going with this? Basically, as a head coach, I could come in, let you run the practice, and I can absolutely observe and learn from that.
Right.
It's kind of what we're going to, if that's even a, you know.
Well, as far as team training, if someone were to come to our facility and have one of us run the practice, the advantage is that we can see things that are different than what the coach sees in his everyday practice. We might run drills that might get players to perform to the next level that for some reason they just couldn't get to before. Every player learns differently, and having a player learn a different perspective from a different person is always an advantage no matter what sport you're playing.
Even better one I thought. Perfect. Tell me about your skills classes.
The skills classes is nice, again, because we have different coaches on the ice. So we break down roughly, we're going to be in 3 groups. So we have a 4-to-1 ratio at the max, so each player is getting full attention from their coach. You're working with specific skills for one coach, and then you transition for the next part of it with a different coach, and you can learn a different perspective, and then again, the third and final coach. So you're getting 3 different perspectives, a little bit different aspect of the game, but you're learning it from 3 different perspectives.
Beautiful. I know we are not currently set up for off-ice training, but describe to me, pretending that we are full on with off-ice training, describe what we've got with off-ice training.
With off-ice, I think our biggest advantage over any place else, especially around here in Dallas, is we're going to have our skating treadmill, which has the artificial ice on it, and it really gets you working on your stride, your stamina, your speed, and I think that by itself is just leaps and bounds ahead of anybody else in the area.
Does Zoom have one?
Zoom does have one. I don't know their entire philosophy. I know they're really widespread when it comes to their training. They don't just train hockey players, whereas our specific focus is hockey players.
Okay, cool. Tell me about the adult hockey that you have here, and it's 3-on-3, and what are the benefits of playing 3-on-3 hockey?
3-on-3 is great because you get players that are just...
Sorry, 3-on-3 adult. I want to make sure that it's clarified.
Our adult 3-on-3 hockey league is fantastic because what it does is it allows players that have the skill to come out here and have fun and be able to work on their game, as well as having players that are just starting to get into the game come out here without having to worry about all the little things, offsides, all the rules and stuff that come with jumping into a 5-on-5 league. They get to come out here and learn the basics without having to get confused as to all the rules and stuff behind it right away.
Okay. Tell me about video analysis. What does video analysis give? What's the advantage of being a player here when I can see video analysis of my play?
The best thing that you can have is doing the video analysis, because a player, you can tell them over and over again what they might be doing incorrectly, what they can do to do better. But when they actually see themselves doing these things incorrectly and being shown how to do it correctly versus with somebody else watching their video, then it's a complete eye-opener. I mean, there's nothing better than being able to see yourself that you are making those mistakes. I mean, you can hear it time and time again, but once you see it, it's a complete difference.
Okay, very nice. That's all the questions I've got. Anything I missed?
Nothing I could think of.
All right. You're done. Can you grab one of the other coaches?